So now we're gonna go to the next very, very, very important topic apart from money. The next very, very important thing that makes women want to, oh, let me just remarry. Now, like I said in the first video, I am not against women finding love again. It's something I preach all the time to women in my circle to find love again, because you know what? It goes beyond intimacy. You actually need a friend. You need someone after the death of the other person or after coming out of a divorce. You need someone to be a companion for so many other reasons apart from intimacy. There are so many reasons you need a friend. You need someone to talk to. It boosts your mental health, so we need someone. But we don't want to fall into the hands of someone that's going to make you worse off than you were before. That is actually what I'm trying to stress about. So now I'm going to move further to start talking about, how to get the right person, how not to fall into the wrong, and how to choose, wisely another partner after the loss of your previous partner or after a painful divorce. Coming out of divorce, a lot of women are usually pained. It usually comes with a lot of unpleasant drama. So many women don't even want to go into remarriage again. It's a very painful situation. Now, coming out of widowhood, it's even very tough because, you've lost someone you love so much, and then now it's been taken to the great beyond. You don't even know how to start. And this can be viewed in different aspects. Some women have been so attached to their late spouses that it's become very, very hard for them to move on with another person. I know that there are different cultural beliefs. I know there are different religious beliefs, regarding women marrying again after the loss of their husbands. Some tribes don't even encourage it. It's actually like a ban. They don't even tell women to move on. They don't even want women to remarry. And I'm sure that in some African countries, if a woman attempts to remarry after the death of her husband, be it months after, a year after, or several years after, people kind of like tend to accuse her. Oh, you're the one that killed your husband, or you actually wanted to do this, as so that you could marry the same person. Anyway, I'm going to be talking from the perspective of my own faith, being Islam. In Islam, after one's husband passes on, a woman is allowed to remarry after observing an Ida period. So now, what is the Ida period? The Ida period is the waiting period. It's the period that a woman has to wait after one husband passes on before you could marry another person. So as I was saying, when a woman comes out of widowhood, the waiting period for her before she could say that she wants to remarry another person, according to the Islamic faith, is 4 months and 10 days. Whether this marriage is consummated or not, she has to wait for 4 months and 10 days, after which she could decide to remarry. So when you see a woman that is getting married to another man, maybe after 5 months that her husband died, don't look at it as if, oh, it's something bad, oh, it's this. We are all different. We are all very different. And if this is what she's following according to the injunction of her faith, then, I really don't know, after sticking to God, then what is it? What is it again? For a woman that is divorced according to the Islamic faith, she has to wait after the divorce for 3 lunar months. For 3 lunar months, that is if the marriage was consummated. If the marriage was not consummated, things happen. Probably they got married now and within a few hours, we hear weird stories like that. Then they divorced. The marriage was not consummated. In this instance, there is no either. She can always remarry as soon as she finds someone suitable for her. Now, when we say that religion or the Islamic religion says this, there's a lot of wisdom, in most of these injunctions of God. it is not for everyone, but for those that really want to move on and have another person, then they have this, channel, this window open for them. They can actually go ahead, because divorce or widowhood are very traumatizing experiences. When I had my when I faced widowhood, or when I just became a widow, it was really very traumatizing. I was depressed and was almost at the point of suicide. I was so strongly attached to my late husband, and I wouldn't want to see anyone but him. Now, it's usually good for these women if they can find another person as soon as possible. That's actually what I tell people. And it's also good for the kids. If you have young kids, you need someone to help you with them, because it is not easy doing everything alone or trying to be a superwoman. A divorced woman, it usually has so many problems, because the divorced husband is still alive. There could be a lot of problems, underlying problems, that it could actually be very hard for the woman to even move forward after the 3 lunar months of divorce. So what should one do? What are the things that this category of women should actually look out for while trying to find love again? Divorce is painful. Widowhood is very painful. But should that be the end of our beautiful life? Should we not move forward? For those who can, please let them do. It actually has a lot of benefits. For those who do not want to, there is no compulsion. So, because some women can actually decide, you know what, I don't want to move on again after my husband. I think I'm fine like this. If they are not causing a problem to the society, if they are able to keep themselves chaste, if they are able to handle this thing by themselves, then let them be. Then another thing is that even though I stated earlier that the Islamic injunction that I said earlier that allows women to marry after a particular time, it is not compulsory. This thing has to do with individuals. Some women, it takes longer time for them to actually be able to come to that mental state of agreeing to the fact that, okay, I want to move on to another person. And a widow or a divorced woman is an individual that has a bruised heart. That heart is bleeding. She's not mentally fit for some time. You see some women, even after many years of widowhood, they still can't get over their husband. The attachment is very strong. And it is really not so good for you to tell them, oh, but you should have moved on now. Oh, but he has died. It's been some years now. You do not know. You do not know how deep that relationship will be. And I think it is very, very important for us to allow the person to heal properly. Because if this person has not healed properly, and this person goes on and moves forward to get married to another person, it's like you're carrying a burden, a very heavy burden, and a very heavy responsibility to the other person that you're going to get married to. So marriage is all about love. It's all about give and take. It's all about the new husband wants something from you, and you also want something from him. So you have to be careful so that you don't get into a marriage that you start comparing. Oh, my late husband was this. Oh, you are not this, you are not that. Such a woman has not healed completely. So a woman that has been single again, a widow or a divorced woman, has to heal completely or almost completely. Well, that is what I feel. That is what I think it's good before one moves to another relationship, so that you don't spoil or you don't damage the other relationship even before you've started it. Because you don't want to keep comparing your late husband or your previous ex or your ex to the new man that you just found, who maybe is also a widow or a divorced person, or probably you're married into a polygyny. You don't want to carry that garbage, that heavy burden into another person. So imagine a widow wanting to marry a widower. You are a widow, you've already experienced in love in your previous marriage. You miss your husband so much. But here you are, you're trying to marry another widower who has probably lost his own very loving wife also. So if you are coming into that marriage with the mindset of, oh, my husband was the best man, and the other man is also coming into the same marriage with, oh, my wife, oh, I lost someone, oh, this is how she cooks, oh, this is how she does this, and both of you are bringing those two baggages into a new, fresh arrangement called marriage, it's going to be a lot of problem. Even from the onset, you're going to be having issues. So that is why I always recommend that one is completely or almost completely healed from, the previous marriage before you move or proceed to another marriage. Similarly, remarrying again, this time around is very different. It's different from when you were single. Your needs are now different as a divorced woman or as a widow. And that is one of the reasons why I always I encourage women to involve their family, their good, very good, close family and community while taking this step. You are coming not as you were when you were single. Now you have beautiful baggages. You have children, you probably have career, you have experiences of life. You're coming with a life that you've lived with a partner before. Now you're coming into a new marriage. It is very, very, very important for one to be very careful in selecting a spouse. A lot of women after being a widow, want to rush into marriage because you need intimacy. And I tell you, one thing that I always encourage women to do is to pray and engage in anything lawful that would make you to think with your head and not think with your mind. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So, when you think with your head and not with your mind or your private parts, it's going to be beneficial for you. But when you're driven with the fact that, oh, I want to have sex, or I want to have intimacy, or I need someone, fine, these are valid reasons. But that should not be enough drive for one to want to go into a new marriage. So you have to try so much to suppress those desires so that you can think straight to marry someone. Because the person you need now is not just someone you need to satisfy your sexual urges alone. The someone you need now is someone you need not just for yourself, but for yourself and your kids. You need to be able to carefully select someone that you feel is capable to take up on that role. Not someone that just likes it because, oh, she's still very pretty, oh, she's still very beautiful, oh, I want to do second wife, oh, I want to take a second one, I want to do it as an Islamic injunction, I want to do polygyny. A lot of men actually don't have this capability to take on a woman or women in this category. A man that is going to marry a widow has to be a very strong man. To be honest, a man that has decided to take upon that responsibility has to be a very strong, committed, and highly responsible man. Because you are marrying, and this is not to scare, you're marrying someone that has a lot. So it goes beyond, oh, I like her physically, oh, I like her this, oh, I like this and that. A widow needs more of companion, more of friendship, more of deep love. And I usually tell women that it is not just about the man alone. is family, the family you're getting married into. You have to critically analyze it. Some women are blessed with very beautiful in-laws in their previous marriage. That is a very, very rare opportunity. So you have to be careful that you do not go into a new marriage that would have in-laws that would not like you. Or you're going into a polygyny setting where the woman in the house, the first wife, will give you a lot of problems. Remember, it is not just you. It is you and those innocent kids. So when you think not only of yourself, but you think of those kids also. Can they see a father in this man that I am going to get married to? Will this man not say that, oh, my problems are too much, your trouble is too much. Today you are talking about your kids, tomorrow you are talking about... So you have to be really, very careful. And that is why I said that a woman in this category should pray that God gives you or makes you able to think with one's head. Think wisely. Make informed decisions. And not think with your mind or the private part. Because when you think with all these ones, you just find any man and then, just going and then one messes up one's life. Because sometimes when you look at it very well, some women are even better off being single than being in a new marriage. That is it. I've seen a lot of it. So the ability for you to actually find a good man, a very responsible man. I'm not saying responsible in terms of, oh, he has to be super rich. No. A very responsible man is not just about age. No. In Islam, the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, got married to a widow. He was just 25 years old and got married to a widow of 40 years. The young Muhammad was, never married, single man. And he proceeded to marry a widow that has had kids. So it's all about responsibility. How responsible is the man? What do people say about him? What does his family say about him? Can he handle your emotions? Can he handle, to take care of you and the kids? Can he give you good advice? Will he not get tired easily? So we have to really think about it before we jump into remarriage. There are so many responsible men out there, as well as those that are really not so responsible. So we have to be very, 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 very careful. There are some men who just want to pile up women in their house and, probably brag to the society, or I have 1 or 2 wives, or I have 3 wives. And then they give you no emotional support. You have to be very careful about this. And there are some who would genuinely, sincerely love you, understand your situation, want to marry you and take care of you and the kids. And I say it also to the woman that intends to get into the remarriage, that you have to also do it intentionally. There are some baggage that we have